In the dim glow of the Manhattan penthouse, where crystal chandeliers hung like frozen stars, Elena's hand trembled as she pressed it against her swelling belly. The baby kicked, a secret storm brewing inside her. But tonight the real thunder was Victor Harrington, the billionaire tycoon whose empire spanned skyscrapers and shadows, standing too close, his fingers grazing her skin with a possessiveness that made her blood run cold. "This child," he whispered, his voice a velvet blade, "will inherit everything, including your lies." Elena's heart slammed against her ribs. How could he know? It had started innocently enough, or so she told herself. 6 months ago, she'd been just another temp in Harrington Industries' sprawling offices, fetching coffee for executives who barely glanced her way. Then came Alexander, Alex, the heir apparent, Victor's only son, with his disarming smile and eyes like stormy seas. He'd bumped into her in the elevator, spilling her latte, and laughed it off with an apology that turned into dinner at a rooftop bistro overlooking Central Park. Their first kiss was under a canopy of fairy lights, his lips tasting of champagne and forbidden promise. "You're not like the others," he'd murmured, pulling her close. "You see me, not the fortune." Elena had fallen hard, her modest Brooklyn upbringing no match for his world of private jets and gala balls. Nights blurred into passion, stolen moments in his yacht off the Hamptons, whispered vows in silk-sheeted beds. She loved how he made her feel alive, cherished, like the center of his universe. But secrets festered. Alex was engaged to Sophia Vanderbilt, a match arranged by Victor to merge dynasties. Elena was the affair, the hidden flame. When she discovered the pregnancy, Joy warred with terror. "We'll run away," Alex had promised, his hand on her belly during a clandestine weekend in the Catskills. "I'll tell my father everything. This baby is our future." His touch was tender, igniting sparks that danced across her skin. They made love by the fireplace, bodies entwined in a rhythm of desperation and desire, as if sealing their pact with every gasp and sigh. Yet Victor's shadow loomed. The old man, with his silver hair and piercing gaze, had built his fortune on ruthlessness, buying out rivals, crushing scandals. Rumors swirled. A first wife who vanished under mysterious circumstances, board members ousted with forged evidence. Elena dismissed them as gossip until the invitations arrived. A family retreat at the Harrington estate in the Adirondacks. Alex insisted it was the perfect time to confess. "He'll understand," he said, but his voice cracked like thin ice. The estate was a Gothic monstrosity, turrets piercing the autumn sky, surrounded by whispering pines. Victor greeted them with a smile that didn't reach his eyes. Sophia was there too, draped in diamonds, her laughter brittle. Dinner was a tense affair. Lobster bisque and veiled barbs. Elena excused herself early, claiming fatigue from the pregnancy she'd announced as Alex's surprise gift. In their suite, Alex held her, his kisses urgent. "Tomorrow, we tell him. I love you more than any inheritance." But sleep evaded her. Midnight found Elena wandering the halls, drawn by a faint hum from Victor's study. The door was ajar. Inside he pored over documents, a glass of scotch in hand. She turned to leave, but he called out, "Come in, my dear. Insomnia plagues us both?" What followed shattered her world. Victor poured her tea, herbal he said for the baby, and spoke in hushed tones. "Alex isn't who you think. That child, it's not his." Elena froze, the cup slipping from her fingers. "What are you talking about?" He slid a folder across the desk. "DNA results, medical records. I had you tested weeks ago. Discreetly, of course." His eyes gleamed with triumph. "The baby is mine." Horror clawed up her throat. Flashes assaulted her, a company party, too much wine, Victor's arm around her waist as he escorted her home. She'd blacked out, waking in her bed with a hazy memory of his cologne. "You drugged me," she gasped, backing away. Victor rose, his frame towering. "Unnecessary precaution. Alex is sterile. A childhood accident I covered up. The Harrington line ends without an heir. You were convenient, beautiful, fertile. I ensured the legacy continues." His hand reached for her belly again, but this time it felt like chains. "Betray me and you'll lose everything. The child, Alex, your life." Elena fled the study, heart pounding, the estate's corridors twisting like a nightmare. She burst into their room, shaking Alex awake. "Your father, he—" But Alex's eyes widened in confusion, then darkened. "What have you done?" he whispered, pulling away. The betrayal hit like a gut punch. Alex knew. He'd been in on it from the start, a ploy to secure the inheritance without scandal. It was supposed to be artificial, he stammered. But father. He took it further. I love you, Elena, but the Empire. She slapped him, the sound echoing. Tears streamed as she grabbed her coat and ran into the night, pine needles crunching underfoot. The baby kicked fiercely, a reminder of the horror within. But in that chaos, a spark ignited. Fury, not fear. She wouldn't be their pawn. Dawn broke as Elena hitched a ride to the city, vowing revenge. Months later, in a modest apartment, she cradled her newborn son, his eyes mirroring Victor's. But the DNA she'd forged said otherwise. With anonymous tips to the press, exposing Victor's crimes, Alex's complicity, the Empire crumbled. Stocks plummeted, investigations loomed. Victor called once, his voice broken. Come back. The child is mine. No, Elena replied, her tone steel. He's ours. Mine, and the man who truly loves me. She'd found solace in a quiet lawyer, a kind soul who'd helped her unravel the web. Their romance bloomed slowly, built on trust, not deceit. Kisses under Brooklyn bridges, hands on her belly without possession. In the end, the heir's horror became her triumph. Love, twisted and betrayed, reshaped into something pure. As she watched her son sleep, Elena smiled. The belly's secret had birthed not just a child, but her freedom.